This is the first big celebrity guest spot on The Simpsons. Ron Taylor voicing the now beloved Bleeding Gums Murphy, all the way back in just the 6th episode of the series, Moaning Lisa. He was the first of what's become a massive list of celebrities who have lended their voice to the show throughout its now 36-season run. 36 seasons. God, please just let it die already.
Stop! He's already dead!
But not all celebrity guest appearances are alike. Some are just short cameos, while others have become foundational characters spanning several episodes across the series. Most have been forgotten over time, but a select few have become iconic characters with memorable moments, helping shape the best of what The Simpsons has to offer. So, who are these characters that have achieved legendary status? What important qualities do they all have in common? And who is the best celebrity guest star of all time? But first, let me thank the sponsor of this video, Mando.
Homer, you should see a doctor. I don't think a healthy man can make that kind of smell.
Homer clearly doesn't care about his hygiene, but you should. No one wants to be the stinky guy. Oh, you have a natural musk? No, you don't. It's called BO and you smell bad. Don't be the stinky guy. Be the guy who smells great because they went to Mando. Mando was started by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal body odor was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Mando is clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. They realized it's not about masking odor, it's about preventing it from ever starting. So don't think of Mando like a deodorant, but a pre-odorant. Mando makes a whole line of products that you can use all over your body, from your pits to your package to your feet. For instance, they sent me a deodorant spray, deodorant stick, deodorant wipes, body wash, and cream. And these products come in different scents of your choosing, like bourbon leather, cloverwoods, Mount Fuji, Pro Sports, and even unscented. Personally, I can't use any products that have dye in them. That just burns the hell out of my armpits. And also, I try and be mindful about not using products that have chemicals and toxins in them. That's just another reason why I love Mando products, because their products are skin safe, vegan, baking soda free, paraben free, and aluminum free. Mando's starter pack bundle is a fantastic deal for new customers. It comes with a full-size stick deodorant, a cream deodorant tube, or a spray deodorant, and 2 free products like the wipes or mini body wash. It's free shipping in the United States, and followers of Entertain the Elk get an extra $5 off when you click the link in the description box below and enter my code ELK at checkout. That's a deal of over 40% off. Again, go to Mando's website, check out everything they have to offer, and never worry about being the stinky guy ever again.
Woohoo! USA! USA! USA!
Thanks to Mando for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to the essay. Before we dive in, I want to set a few parameters that will hopefully help simplify our search, while also shedding some light on my own personal biases. If you've been a fan of my channel for a while, then you know that I consider the golden age of The Simpsons to be seasons 1 through 9. Or more specifically, everything until the Principal and the Pauper, since that's the day I think the series died.
I'm an imposter. That man is the real Seymour Skinner.
So I'm only considering episodes from the Golden Age. Next, I'm only considering guest appearances where the celebrity doesn't play themselves. I'll get into this more later, but for now I'll just say that I'm more interested in characters that are shaped by this unique world and its characters, as opposed to the world being shaped in order to explain massive personalities that don't really belong in this world. Lastly, and definitely most controversially, I only want to focus on celebrities that make 1 or 2 appearances. The types of characters that come out of nowhere and leave a lasting impact with their limited screen time. Some celebrities feel like honorary cast members with multiple characters or reoccurring characters that pop up numerous times throughout the series. If I didn't make this parameter, it would be way too easy to select Phil Hartman as Troy McClure or Lionel Hutz.
By hiring me as your lawyer, you also get this smoking monkey. Better cut down there, Smokey.
Kelsey Grammer as Sideshow Bob. Joe Mantegna as Fat Tony. John Lovitz has done a number of wonderful characters like Artie Ziff, Professor Lombardo, Llewellyn Sinclair, and Jay Sherman.
Very nice, Homer.
And so has Albert Brooks, with characters like Cowboy Bob, Jacques, Brad Goodman, and of course, Hank Scorpio.
I'm just like you. Oh, sure, I come later in the day, I get paid a lot more, and I take longer vacations, but I don't like the word boss.
I mean, Marsha Wallace is technically considered a guest star every time she voices Edna Krabappel, which seems so bizarre for such a foundational character. How can a one-time guest star compete with this? That's why I feel like I need to set this parameter. Okay, so there's a lot of ways to tackle this. For topics that are so subjective like this one, I try and find the most objective way possible. That means creating some kind of rubric that I can hold all of these guest stars and their characters up against. And I think there are three main elements that make up the best guest stars. 1, they affect the main character and the plot in a meaningful way. The Simpsons will often do this by making the guest character a family member, a romantic partner, a mentor, or an antagonist. 2, they flesh out the world. The Simpsons have built up an incredible setting throughout its run with its own unique set of rules, hierarchy, and landmarks, and it's a unique opportunity to peek into the corners of Springfield with the help of these celebrity guests. 3, they leave a lasting mark. What do you think of when you hear something described as an award-worthy performance? It's a combination of factors, but usually includes a role that offers a wide range of emotions, but they also have that one memorable scene that stands out and elevates the character, helping them live in our minds forever. With all of this in mind, let's finally dive into the list. I'll start with a few honorable mentions that don't exactly fit into the grading rubric. The character of Frank Grimes appears in the 8th season episode Homer's Enemy, and immediately became a fan favorite, with so many quotable lines and memorable moments.
This whole plan is insane! Insane, I tell you!
In just one episode, we get to witness the complete unraveling of a normal person who just had the misfortune of meeting Homer Simpson.
Hi, grimy old buddy.
I'm not your buddy, Simpson. I don't like you. In fact, I hate you. Stay the hell away from me!
A fantastic one-off character like this would normally go to a celebrity guest, but the producers decided instead to go with in-house talent Hank Azaria. James Earl Jones has made a few guest appearances on The Simpsons over the years, offering his voice in unique ways.
Well, thank you very much, Mr.
To pronounce it correctly, I would have to pull out your tongue. This is indeed a disturbing universe.
But his beautiful baritone voice was never better than when he narrated The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe in the original Treehouse of Horror episode.
Perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more.
It's the perfect example of how a single voice can elevate a piece of material to a completely different level.
And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
Going from one voice of Maggie Simpson to another, I need to mention Maggie's first word. It comes in the season 4 episode Lisa's First Word, and it's a moment that makes me cry every single time, especially after becoming a father myself. In a bizarre use of her talent, Elizabeth Taylor lended her voice for a single word.
Daddy.
A monumental moment on The Simpsons. It really highlights the genius writing of those early Simpsons years, where they could make you laugh and cry with just a single word. The first celebrity guest spot, and still one of the very best. This came at a time when the creators were still fleshing out the main characters, figuring out who they were and where they fit not just into the larger show, but in their own Simpson family. Homer and Bart immediately exploded in popularity, already having episodes that completely revolved around them, like Bart the Genius, Homer's Odyssey, and Bart the General. And so Moaning Lisa was the perfect opportunity to meet Lisa Simpson, who up to this point had been mostly shoved to the background. In the episode, Lisa is struggling with depression and existentialism. Her teachers at school and her own family members don't really understand her.
I'm too sad.
Too sad to play dodgeball?
What did I tell you about playing that saxophone thing in the house?
I was just playing the blues, Dad.
One night, after following music outside her window, she meets Bleeding Gums Murphy, and for once, she feels like she can be her true self finally around someone.
The saddest kid in grade number 2.
She can express how she really feels, and instead of hiding her blues, she can use them to make something beautiful. And as much as I love Moaning Lisa, Bleeding Gums Murphy's most memorable moment comes from his second episode, Round Springfield.
Bleeding Gums Murphy!
Little Lisa, it's good to see you again.
In this episode, Bleeding Gums Murphy is reunited with Lisa only briefly before tragically passing away. A music career squandered and forgotten, Lisa spends the episode trying to find and play his one album on the radio to help keep his memory alive. And the final scene is just magical.
Oh, what the heck? Once more from the top.
Yay!
A powerful moment of saying goodbye to a friend and mentor, and it's only fitting for Lisa that it feels depressing, existential, joyous, and beautiful all at the same time. Jessica Lovejoy, the daughter of Reverend and Helen Lovejoy, is the perfect example of a character that checks all the boxes on my grading rubric. She opens up the world of Springfield by shedding more light on the unique and weird dynamics of the Lovejoy family. She affects Bart through their romantic and extremely toxic relationship. At first, we think that Bart is actually going to change himself for a girl.
Must fight Satan.
Then it looks like he found his rebellious equal, only to find that Jessica's recklessness goes beyond even Bart's moral line.
Remember, I'm the sweet, perfect minister's daughter, and you're just yellow trash.
She's such an interesting character, and it certainly doesn't hurt when you have Meryl Streep as the voice actor. Watching her bring Jessica to life, with all her diabolical, narcissistic, volatile tendencies, is truly a joy to watch.
Well, come on, use your imaginations.
There's something about Lisa-centered episodes that move me. Maybe it's because I'm prone to melancholy myself, or maybe I'm just an old sap looking for a good cry. In a family with a dumb baboon father and a mischievous, troublemaking brother, Lisa is usually left feeling like the odd man out, desperately seeking some kind of outside validation from a mentor or father figure. And in Lisa's substitute, she finds another father figure in her substitute teacher, Mr. Bergstrom.
Feel free to make fun of my name if you want. Two suggestions are Mr. Nerdstrom and Mr. Boogerstrom.
And just like her, he too has a strong intellect and the emotional capacity to feel deeply about things.
Knew that a gray spider had played the most important part of all.
Most likely the first time these kinds of behaviors have been modeled for her. Dustin Hoffman gets to shine in this performance that includes singing, goofy accents, dramatic readings, and of course the emotional farewell at the train station that might be one of the most heartfelt moments of the entire series. Homer's mother, Mona Simpson, voiced by Glenn Close, was introduced in the season 7 episode Mother Simpson, and her appearance resolved a lot of unanswered questions about Homer's past, Grandpa Simpson's past, and the overall history of this world. In classic Simpsons fashion, we get the perfect balance of humor with tragedy. We see how Mona and Homer are similar.
You'll always be a part of me.
And the dynamics that Mona instantly brings to the rest of the family. There's this shroud of grief that hangs over everything. The history of how she had to leave her child behind, the holes that they've left in each other's lives, and the sad realization that Mona has to leave again as suddenly as she arrived. Mona's appearance brought a new level of depth to Homer's character that was a breath of fresh air. Homer's intelligence has been on a sharp decline since season 1, but here we get to see him at his most sincere and sweet.
You have a mother, and she's truly proud of you.
Homer is helpless as he has to watch his mother leave his life all over again. No lines of dialogue spoken, no dumb joke to tarnish this emotional moment. Just Homer alone on the side of the road, thinking about his mother as he stares quietly at the stars. Romantic temptations for Homer and Marge are a common plotline on the show, dating back to its very first season. Jacques, Artie Ziff, Mindy Simmons, and of course, Lurleen Lumpkin.
No one understands you, but I
Voiced by Beverly D'Angelo, Lurleen first appeared in the 3rd season episode Colonel Homer. D'Angelo does such a wonderful job with this character, and what makes her my number one has to do with what she brought both on screen and behind the scenes. Lurleen gets to display such a range of emotions, and her singing talents are on full display throughout the entire episode. But what really surprised me is that Beverly D'Angelo apparently wrote 2 of the songs on the episode. Your Wife Don't Understand You and I Bagged Me a Homer. And even beyond that, unlike other celebrity guests who come in and read their lines and then leave, D'Angelo apparently stayed on during production, making herself constantly available, and even pitched several jokes for the episode. I mean, what more can you ask for in a celebrity guest? There's so many funny and memorable moments throughout this episode.
I think I can come over. Let me ask my wife. It's a date.
But my favorite is the final scene where Lurleen sings Stand By Your Manager as Homer comes back home to Marge.
He's quite a man.
These romantic temptation episodes are common, and I think that's because sometimes the audience needs a reminder of why Homer and Marge, these 2 very different personalities, are together at all. It's a very sweet and tender moment made possible because of Lurleen Lumpkin's introduction. And that's why she's my favorite celebrity guest star of all time. Hi everyone, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you enjoyed another examination into the golden age of The Simpsons. I love any excuse to get to talk about it. I say it time and time again, but seriously, seasons 3 through like 7, maybe 8, is, I consider, the best TV ever made. This was my personal favorite celebrity guests, but please leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear who you consider to be the best Simpsons guest of all time. Also, like it, share it with your other fellow Simpson friends. Anything you can just do to help engage with this video, it helps appease the algorithm gods and helps motivate them to share this video with more people. I would really appreciate it. Thanks again everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.